Greetings and welcome to The Contracting Guy. I am The Contracting Guy. And before we begin, I want to share with you that the Toledo Mud Hens beat the St. Paul Saints 8-3 today over at Fifth Third Field. Great game. Wish you could have been there. And now on to the specific topic at hand. When you're sitting there watching a game that's 8-3, you have a lot of time to think. So here's what I was thinking. Is that about a week and a half ago, I was at the VBOC in Flint. That's up. It's a small business administration thing, but they support veteran organizations or veterans seeking business with the government. And I had the opportunity to present there, and I did the presentation on market research. So let me share that with you. One of the things as I was sharing market research is going through the presentation, I noticed something that kind of triggered my thoughts on something more, a little bit deeper. We're all familiar with Domino's Pizza and also Little Caesars Pizza. Now, why that's important to this particular market research segment is this. We all have the opportunity to do market research. We all have the opportunity to make choices based on the market research that we do. Now, in 1959, 1960, Mike Ilitch and Tom Monahan, both Marines, started two different businesses. One, Little Caesars by Mike Ilitch, and Domino's Pizza by Tom Monahan. Both located fairly, within 100 miles from each other, probably less. Now, that becomes kind of important because when we start looking at market research, you need to know where your market is, who your market is, and where you're going to be marketing to so that you have your competitive edge. The question then became to the small businesses that were at the conference that I was participating in was, what's the difference then between Domino's Pizza and Little Caesars Pizza? What is their competitive advantage? Each of them. What is their market driver, their focus? So I'm asking the small businesses, and one said, well, they have a variety of, Domino's Pizza has a variety of menu items. It seems to be focusing on people who come in, bring a whole meal, and then take it home. Okay, sounds good. And then, so what does Little Caesars do? Well, they seem to be focused on quick, a quick targeted strike, and then they leave. Hence, the hot and ready pizza drives Little Caesars. So you're looking at the two. So let's say, take a look at the menu items. So the menu items that come from Domino's Pizza, include not only pizza, but also the cheesy bread stuff, also the salads, also other things such as desserts, sandwiches, sodas, whatever it might be. So they have a all-encompassing menu. So you can take it home to a family or something like that. Whereas Domino's competitor, Little Caesars, now these generally speaking are number one and number two in the international pizza hierarchy, with Domino's being number one, Little Caesars number two. Third is Pizza Hut, but we won't count them because I want to keep it geographically significant. So why would you start a business doing pizza when there's already somebody who is there? Well, first off, they started at two different locations. At the time, they were only one store, so they started building from there. But you start looking at that and say, well, what would be the differences? Well, as I mentioned before, Domino's looking at more full service, and Little Caesars Pizza was a more targeted tactical strikes. So strategic versus tactical. Now, both have worked well because they're number one and number two, respectively, in the pizza arena, international pizza arena. But it is important to recognize that is how they've played, being in the same neighborhood, but playing to two different groups of folks that are interested. Now, of course, there are tastes and other things, but generally speaking, their market is different than the other. And that's important to recognize. As I'm talking to the small business, I said, okay, what market are you appealing to? Are you going to be like the Little Caesars, who is hot and ready? Or are you going to be like Domino's? You're going to be full service. What is it? You're going to have to choose something. What is going to be necessary for you to distinguish yourself from others in the market? Now, there are other pizza groups, out there since 1959, but when you look at the particular two that I'm talking about, they have a pretty good spread, but they're still successful in spite of the fact that they probably have stores in close proximity. But you'll have a client group that'll look at Domino's and look at a client group that'll look at Little Caesars. Very important to recognize that how you define your market. Another takeaway to focus on is this, is that if you look at both of them, one of the things that they have done is do pizza well, and through their market research of society, of their clients, they determined that, well, Domino's is looking, well, I need to expand more into these arenas where I provide more healthy food like salads or quick food like sandwiches, still looking at other things as well. And where Pizza Hut looks at, okay, I'm going to focus on my target stuff, which is quick and simple, but good food. And they focus there. Bottom line is, where are you focused? And what are you going to do? Good thing to think about. This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out. Contracting Guy here. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for being part of the Contracting Guy family. If you would, support the channel by like, subscribe, and share with others. That would be wonderful. This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out.